Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope, Louisville's original live TV sports talk show. We're here with you every Sunday night at 11 o'clock, and our number 964-2121, the Goomer & Company Buzz line. We want to hear from you tonight. This segment brought to you by livingforless.org. Great deals on restaurants, entertainment, fun and games, recreation, all on livingforless.org. Go there to get a deal. This is Greg Brom. Joined tonight. It's that time of year where Gary Dimling, it's your time of year, buddy. You have horse racing, golf, and the political season. Talk about your race for state senate.
Well, first, the only other place I'd rather be is the Butler Cabin. And unfortunately, I couldn't don the green jacket, so in tribute to Bubba Watson, I am donning the visor.
All right, good. Well, I was going to say, maybe, they're going to change it to yellow and blue. A yellow and blue
well, hopefully that'll be on May 23rd.
If you win the Masters, if you win your election.
If we do that on May 23rd, maybe I can talk to the KGA and do the Kentucky Open and turn those to colors.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Masters. Bubba Watson wins the Masters. He beats Louis Oosthuizen in a playoff. And what was your impression of Sunday, the back nine at the Masters? Historic, legendary, the back nine for drama. How was this back nine? How does it measure up?
You never can beat a Masters on Easter Sunday. I mean, think about it. When Phil Mickelson won in 2004, it was Easter Sunday. Go years past. It's always when it's aligned with Easter. It just happens. Great. Louis Oosthuizen did not lose this. Bubba Watson won this. When he birdied 13, 14, 15, 16 consecutively, Oosthuizen did birdie 13, 15. I mean, there were some shots down the stretch that were clutch. And what's really ironic about Bubba Watson is he suffers from ADD. So he twitches a lot. He has a lot of nervous instincts. So for him to hold it together down the stretch like that was very, very impressive. And I think that Bubba is the kind of guy, when he lost in playoff, Martin Kaymer in the PGA 2 years back, he thought, well, this guy's got a lot of talent, but he's a self-made swing. He works the ball, but he's not something that you want to emulate. It's not something like, okay, tomorrow in the range, you're going to just do this, and you're going to make it to the tour. But he is a guy you can market. By far market.
Big hitter,
pink driver,
huge hitter.
Big fan of breast cancer, really religious. He's almost like the Tim Tebow of golf in a sense as success because he's very, very religious, and he wins on Easter.
Two big shots today. Oosthuizen had the double eagle on the second hole.
Yes.
Went from 7 under all the way to 10 under. And then Phil Mickelson. Tell me what you would have done. Phil hits the ball into the bushes, and he decides instead of going back to the tee and re-teeing off, he decides to try to chip it out of there right-handed, can barely move it, takes another swing at it right-handed and goes off sideways and gets a 6 on that hole. I mean, he lost the tournament right there. What would you have done? Was it a no-brainer to go back to the tee, or is that a tough call?
All right, here's the situation there. Two things from Phil that really hurt him. For one, it hit the railing. The ball hit the railing in PGA Tour golf, or any golf, actually competition-wise. The ball goes into the stands. It's a free drop, no penalty. More than likely, he's going to get that ball up and down. If he doesn't, he makes 4, which puts him in the playoff. Now, it hits the railing and kicks in there. Now, Phil's right-handed by nature, so he hits the ball right-handed a lot. He thought he could advance the ball into the bunker. If he were to advance the ball into the bunker, he has like his chances of getting up and down for 4. So he thought he could hit it. Personally,
was the risk of a 6 too much, though, to take that chance?
That's a good question. I didn't see his live, but evidently Phil, who's a gambler, and he has a lot of confidence in himself, thought if he went back to the tee and hit a bad shot, he could make 5. He thought he had a better chance probably of making 4 there. I put something on Facebook that was like, why wouldn't you take it unplayable? But then the more I thought about the situation, if his lie was decent enough where he could advance it to the bunker, that's a pretty easy bunker shot for the tour player.
And it's always easy to second guess in hindsight when you see what happened to him.
But hitting the railing, it's like Vanderbilt, except for when Vanderbilt did, he imploded the British Open. Phil at least brought himself back into contention.
That was the only bad hole he had the entire day. I don't think he had a bogey the rest of the day. He had all pars and birdies except for that triple bogey. Tiger not even in. He didn't even look like he was in. Exactly. He got one bit of camera time today. That was it. The entire day. And
he's obviously
not. No, he was halfway classy today.
Halfway.
When he realized he was out of it. But what do you think about his game? Obviously, he's not back.
Oh, no, and I said this before. He's not back. He's going to a swing coach that has you swing around your body, who's Sean Foley. He's a shorter guy. I think, personally, as a golf instructor, he's too big to swing that way, to swing around your body the way he does. At moments, he shows it, but for 4 rounds, he can't. But then the tantrums he shows, I mean, he's like 12 again. So, but you look at Phil Mickelson in Class Act. He's out there. He's off in the afternoon on Thursday, and he watches the greats Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player tee off, and he dons his green jacket. I mean, that just shows an appreciation and respect for who basically built this whole Augusta and the whole setting of it. He got a text from Barbara Nicklaus, who said she appreciates that so much. It meant so much to Jack, Gary, and Arnold for him to show up to somebody at the top of their game to do that. Where was Tiger? And that just shows the difference between these two. When he kicked his club, his response was, yeah, well, I hit a bad shot, and oh, it hurt my toe. I mean, come on, he just doesn't get it. I'm sorry, he just doesn't really get it.
Phil's way more likable. He's way more likable as a fan watching golf. You're rooting for Phil, and I root for Tiger too, but I think Phil is easier to root for. Let's talk about Bubba. And in the last few majors, and many of the last several years, somebody like Rory, Martin Keimer wins one, Lucas Glover, and every time somebody wins one, they say, this is the first of many. This is the next breakout guy. And guess what? None of those guys ever have won another one.
Rory will.
Rory will. I think
Rory will.
Who's the next first-timer? Who's the next guy who's going to win their first major coming up?
Okay, Bubba's 33, so he's not like he's a young gun in this sense. He's older than the other guys. I don't think Bubba will win another major. I mean, he may, but he's not going to win a British Open because of his ball flight. He's going to have a hard time winning a U.S. Open, but he could win a PGA and maybe another Masters.
He's kind of like Phil in that. He's not going to win a U.S. Open.
Better than he's putted on. He's yet to finish in the top 18 all year coming into this. So it wasn't like he was lighting the scoreboards up. Now, the next upcoming, I mean, Westwood is grinder. He finished tied third again.
Westwood.
I mean, he probably played better than anyone this weekend. He missed more, or this whole week, he missed more putts inside 3 feet than anyone. I just think he's knocking on the door so much. I like his game more than I like Luke Donald's game. I'm a big fan of Luke Donald. We're in the same fraternity. I just like the way he plays. He's a class guy. But I just think Westwood is he's such a grinder, such a good ball striker. I think he's the next guy to win. But for golf, this is what golf needed. The B12 shot was Bubba Watson. We don't have to worry about Tiger. We've got a fan favorite in Bubba. I mean, they weren't cheering against Louis, but they were cheering for Bubba, if you know what I'm saying. They needed that.
Well, that's that name.
They needed that boost.
It's that name.
But the way he plays,
likes a Bubba.
It's so unorthodox. It's just... I wouldn't recommend that at home.
Let's put on, we got a couple of lists here for you guys. Gary put together his top 5 Masters of all time. The top 5 in the history of the Masters, probably the greatest golf tournament in the world. Here's your top 5 there, Gary. A couple of things on here. You got Tiger.
78 was Gary Player.
Got Tiger in 05 over Tiger in 97. Why is that? Because of the shot.
Well, for one, 97 wasn't, unless you're sitting there and watching a record breaker. For drama, the ball that sounded lip on 16, and a couple of friends of mine, Rick Gentner and Rick Costell, were at that Masters, and they sat right there on 16 and saw it go in. And you know what's funny about that? Nike could not do the rights to commercial because the Masters own the TV rights. Whether you see the swoosh, and then with the playoff with Chris DeMarco, 87, Mize chips in, Georgia native, right, Augusta native, defeats Seve on 10, and then Norman on 11 with a chip in. And you go to 60, Arnold Palmer. He buried the last 2 holes to take down Kim Venturi, and they said that the theatrics of the announcers were just unbelievable. Phil, 2004, birdies the last toe, has a vertical leap of like, 10 inches there. But still, Ernie's on the putting green thing, he's going to have a playoff. And DeMarco, once again, he was playing with Phil. And the 78 was actually Gary Player, and he was 6 shots back starting. He played the last 10 holes 7 under par to capture that at 42 years of age. Fuzzy's first attempt to the Masters, and he won the 3-way playoff. And it was great, phenomenal. He won in 79. But I think for the whole point of Gary Player, who's my namesake, being 42 years of age and come back from 6 shots down. And in 86, I don't think I'd explain that whole
Absolutely. That's hands down the greatest Masters of all time. Right
it's not.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll talk about the big Derby prep races over the weekend, talk a little more about golf, and then we'll get into some, we'll look ahead to next basketball season already.
Maybe
here at the
politics,
Sunday Sports, but we'll
public
squeeze in some public service. On the other side, the Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.
Hi, I'm Joey Craig of Craig & Landers Cars. I'd like to invite you out to our newest location here in beautiful Crestwood. My father, Larry Craig, started our business over 37 years ago. We now have 7 great locations to serve Kentuckiana with over 500 automobiles in stock. We are a family-owned and operated business that believes in taking care of customers. Stop by and see for yourself. See you soon.
Now you're thinking smart with Craig & Landers Cars.
Hi, I'm Kevin Renfro, owner of the Becker Law Office. For more than 25 years, my law firm has only represented injured people who need help. If you want an experienced lawyer, call or email me at the Becker Law Office. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or the website. We'll answer your questions and work hard for you. You'll owe us nothing unless we win or settle your case.
Serious, experienced, results. Call the Becker Law Office for a free evaluation. Just dial 3s.
It's for you, and you. Rally's Just For You 2 for 2 deal. 2 for just $2. Rally's mouth-watering crispy fish with wild-caught Alaskan filet, just for you. Or our spicy chicken, seasoned to perfection. 2 of the same or 1 of each, just $2. It's 2 for 2 and it's just for you at Rally's. Feast on.
If my night's going into overtime, I head to Rally's. It's open till midnight or later.
Looking to save money on things you shop for daily? Look no further. VPass is here. Members save up to 50% on thousands of area businesses. Buy one, get one free at your favorite area restaurants. Golfers get free green fees at top area courses. Save on things for your auto, home, kids, and pets. Members save on prescription medication and vision care at thousands of providers nationwide. Go to myvpass.com. That's my V as in value, passes and passport.com for a free 30-day trial.
All right, we're back to Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope. This segment, again, brought to you by livingforless.org. Get great deals on restaurants and entertainment, recreation, all at livingforless.org. Our number, 964-2121, Goomer Company Buzz Line. I'm with Gary Demling tonight. We've been talking about the Masters. Real quick, before we get on to horse racing, some Big Derby preps over the weekend. Where does the Masters always brings up the best sports days,
That's
the
true.
days of the year that you rearrange your entire schedule because you are not going to let anything get in the way of this sporting event. Gary, what were your top 5 best sports days of the year?
Okay, this was tough, but I went with Super Bowl Sunday 5 because I'm a Dolphin fan. And it's been a long time since we've been there, but sometimes it's been about the commercials there. First round of the NCAA tournament is just, 12 o'clock tip-off.
That's all mine.
And
you know what? It's Thursday even more than Friday.
Right, it's more Thursday. And you see
Thursday.
that upset that the conference, the conference champion from a smaller conference. But then you go to Selection Show Sunday because everybody wants to see where they're seated. We're going to travel to see the game.
Yeah.
What's the matchups we're looking for?
It's can't miss
and
TV.
Derby Day, which is a can't miss. But it's an attendance game because we attend that event on a regularity because we're fortunate to be from Louisville, Kentucky. And I always put Masters Sunday first.
Is that your number one? I know you're
especially
about
on
that.
Easter because it's something that you can watch with whoever you're with. Multiple, your family, your friends. Especially on Easter Sunday. Look at look at today. It was riveting. The back nine was riveting. The Derby's great, but it's a whole long day event, which you're actually attending. So it's spread out for the whole day.
You know what? I have the Masters in my top 5, but I also U of L UK game. Just that day when they're playing, whether it's basketball or football, that day in and of itself is it up near the top of my list. And also, more so than the Super Bowl, I even like the Championship Sunday games. The AFC Championship, the NFC Championship.
Yes.
I'm clearing my schedule to watch those. I think
more.
more almost is on the line in the fact that once you get to the Super Bowl, a lot's on the line. The championship.
I think with the U of L UK because it fluctuates a little bit. But I agree with you on the championship
Those
games.
two I would maybe add to that list. Rick, you're up. Rick.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. How you guys?
Good.
How are you, Ricky?
I got a comment to Gary's comment about Tim Tebow.
Yes.
Yes. I don't understand how he compares Tim Tebow to Bubba Watson.
Just the religious aspect of it, Rick. That's it.
Well, Bubba Watson's won a title.
That's true.
Tebow has yet to win a
Hold
title.
on now, Rick.
Two national titles.
2 national titles in Florida.
Well, national title. I'm talking about professional. National title. The professional basketball players, college are one and done. Those guys have to be there. Tim Tebow is not a professional.
The Jets really don't count as a professional team.
That's true. I'm not as Dolphin fan as it.
No,
Rick has a valid point there. College is different in this sense, at the professional level. Bubba Watson played in college with Rudy Amata, Eric Compton. 2 players who were better than him in college. And you don't hear much about them anymore. Rudy Amata does have his tour card, but Eric Compton lost his. But Bubba's the main guy. So Okay, from the being very spiritual and very Christian, that's the comparison. On the title level, you're right. Bubba is definitely has done more.
I don't know if he's done more. He's won the Masters. Tebow's won
he did
2
go to a
national
playoff
titles.
in the PGA. Yeah.
All right,
it's true. It's true.
Let's turn to horse racing. The big weekend of Derby preps, and I think now basketball's over, so now a lot of people in this area turn to the Derby and have no clue anything about horse racing. Who are the horses they should be looking for? Who are the favorites? They have no idea, so now they start to play catch-up. Tell us what happened this weekend on the Derby Trail. Who are the horses to watch?
We had 3 Derby prep races this weekend. First, we had the Memorial at Aqueduct. And the towns were slow all day there, so we can't take much from the town. But gemologist Todd Pletcher horse, ridden by Javier Castellano, who actually defeated Ever So Lucky here at Churchill, so he's undefeated at Churchill as well, undefeated for his career, won that in slow times, but like I said, the whole towns were slow. He's going in the race as one of the prohibitive favorites. Now we drop down, we'll jump to the Illinois Derby, which was actually the latter one, and that horse, done talking, long shot won, wasn't a big top field, but then the Santa Anita Derby, which was a very, very good race. Now we look at Santa Anita Derby, the horse that won was I'll Have Another. Doug O'Neill's back. Doug O'Neill's been suspended in the past for
You have him second on your top 5.
We're
looking at your list right now.
And he creative calls, and Doc Costello I mentioned earlier, Horsebed, that's his number 1 horse. And actually, you've got him backwards.
Yeah, that's your 4.
I have, creative calls is actually number 1, Union Rags 2, Gemologist 3, I'll Have Another 4, and Alpha 5.
Well, let me ask you this about these Derby preps, because we always see who wins the Derby, the Santa Anita, the Wood Memorial, the Bluegrass Stakes next week. Does it really matter if you win that prep race leading into the Derby? You had your first 2 horses did not win their prep race.
Creative calls and Union Rags.
They came in second. Is it almost better if you're picking a horse to win the Derby to pick someone that came in second, third in the race before that maybe is coming, trying to bounce back?
A little
bit of a disappointing effort? What?
I think it's how they finish. And the way the creative cause finished the Santa Anita Derby, and he eventually got past I'll Have Another way back then, but he didn't have the clean trip that he had. Now, Alpha ran a great race. Kerry McLaughlin's a trainer. And Gemologist turned it up another gear. But Union Rags was checking, Calvin's horse. The name's slips me in the Florida Derby. He came flying at the end. He finished well as well. But in a way, it's kind of a workout for those horses. Yeah, they'd like to have the victory, but then again, it's more of a get them prepped for the Derby.
Kind of the last
thing.
Exhibition game or something.
Right, so those 2 horses are ranked higher than the other ones, so there's a lot of room for improvement there in a sense.
All right, let's go to Terry.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Terry, good to hear from you again.
I was calling to let you know, no, we do not go from basketball to Derby. We go to basketball to the Thunder of the Louisville.
True.
And then football.
You're right. I like how you think, Terry.
We can't discount.
What do you think about, Terry? You still there? What do you think about football? Charlie Strong's Cardinals. Okay, Terry's gone.
Terry's anti-basketball.
We'll talk a little bit about that probably.
Can't be Terry Rozier, evidently.
No, Terry is one of our most loyal callers every week. But so you have your Derby. You have your creative cause. Who's the trainer, jockey, creative cause?
Mike Harrington and Joe Rosario. Ronnie Eubanks is the jockey agent from here for a while. Used to be jockey agent for Shane Sellers and some others here. Dr. Love is his nickname, by the way, Evie. But this horse is he's out of Giants Causeway, and he just improves, and he's a great horse. And I've talked to a lot of people about this horse. They just think this horse really could turn the tracks. But Union Rags, I was with Rob Apparello the other night, and someone, Jody Hayden, former House representative, the fundraiser event with us, said, Robbie, so who's Derby horse? He goes, Union Rags. He goes, problem is, I'm not on him. So Julian LaPro is riding Union Rags.
Is Union Rags, is that the horse? You always have the horse that's the prohibitive favorite. Uncle Mo, I remember, that doesn't even make it to the race. I
think Union Rags will be the favorite regardless, just because of the bad trip he got in the Juvenile and the Breeders' Cup. Hanson, granted, won that race, and then Hanson, of course, won in Florida. But Union Rags didn't, like the people who are in the horse, I guess in the arenas, as you would say, they know that he had the hardest trip, and he almost still won. I still think he'll go off as a betting favorite. I don't know what's going to happen in the Bluegrass. Hanson's going to run in there, and we'll see what happens. If Hanson wins, could possibly be the favorite.
Okay, we want to hear from you, 964-2121. When we come back, we will talk Cards, Cats, Hoosiers, basketball looking ahead to next season. The Sunday Sports Buzz presented by Sam Swope.
Join the club at Sam Swope Auto Group. When you service a vehicle at any Sam Swope dealership, you automatically become a Service VIP Rewards member. You get member pricing on parts and service, lost key return, and emergency roadside assistance. Plus, you can earn points that qualify you for discounts on your next vehicle purchase, up to $2,500. The best part is becoming a member is free. Become a member today at any Sam Swope dealership. Nobody walks away because everybody saves.
Pimp out your ride at Smart Shoppers, 4200 Produce Road. That's Smart Shoppers, 4200 Produce Road to pimp out your ride. They are open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They are the largest car audio dealer in the city of Louisville. No better place for paint or body work in the city than Smart Shoppers. You need rims, stereos, amps, paint, anything you need. Call 964-6652 or go to smartshoppers.com. That's Smart Shoppers, 964-6652.
Hi, I'm Kevin Renfro of the Becker Law Office. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, please call us. Mesothelioma is a cancer caused by asbestos, used in construction, power plants and factories, ships and towboats, and in auto brakes. Call the Becker Law Office. We're committed to helping asbestos victims and their families get the compensation they deserve.
Serious, experienced, results. Call the Becker Law Office for a free evaluation. Just dial 3s.
It's for you, and you. Rally's Just For You 2-for-2 deal. 2 for just $2. Rally's mouth-watering crispy fish with wild-caught Alaskan filet, just for you. Or our spicy chicken, seasoned to perfection. 2 of the same or 1 of each, just $2. It's 2 for 2 and it's just for you at Rally's. Feast on.
If my night's going into overtime, I head to Rally's. It's open till midnight or later.
The 2012 Bluegrass Golf Tour Card featuring Chariot Run, Bardstown Country Club at Maywood, Rosewood Country Club, Indian Springs, Cave Valley Golf Resort, the Falls Golf Resort, the Bull, and Stonecrest Golf Course is available now. Get your golf tour card and play 8 great courses with cart for one low price. Call 502-964-2121 or go to shop21live.com to get yours now. You can play anytime, but you must get your golf tour card now.
All right, we're back. Greg Brum along with Gary Dimlin running for state senate. The primary coming up
District
in May.
19.
I tell you what, here's a guy, this caller we have, who can bring some votes. He can deliver votes.
Handsome Jimmy.
Handsome Jimmy is with us right now. Handsome, what's going on?
Hey, Gary and Greg, how y'all doing, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy. How are you?
Hey, Gary, me and Jaws is going to the trail, and you're hands down a winner, baby.
I got a Triple X shirt for JJ, and I got a Triple X for you, too.
Oh, I appreciate that, partner. Hey, Gary, there's no question, Jack's the master in '86. That's one of the best 5 things in sports, and I really believe that. The way he did that, it's just off the chart. But, Greg, I was at I was at the Silks the other day, at Keeneland, watching races, and I swear, Greg, I saw a guy went to Bishop David. I was raised with. I ain't saw him in 25 years. He's a big UK fan. He had this number 8 coming towards me. He says, Jimmy, he said, how you feeling? I said, I ain't feeling worth a damn since I said, sure. You know what I mean? He looked at me and said, you really like it? I said, I'm not just secretary. The way it was laid up, but. Greg, I got to tell you something. I really believe next year's team with Luke, healthy Blackshear, Mike Marr hopefully be back. I really think, you and Gary comment on this, I really believe Greg and Gary, we're going to make a big run. It could break the turnoff, no question, a Final Four team. Do y'all agree that,
Handsome,
partner?
3.
Great night.
They talked about number 8. We're going number 3, Jimmy, number 3. All year long, I want you talking about number 3. It really, Louisville, Gary, when you look at what they have coming back, and even losing Kyle, losing Chris, you replace them hopefully with
actually get
Luke
better.
Hancock. You're upgrading. If Blackshear does what he did against Kentucky, like right here on this follow jam, athleticism, and then you got Luke Hancock, you have the injured guys coming back. How would you rank the top 5 basketball teams headed into next year?
I have them ranked in this order. Of all the ACC schools, you think Duke or Carolina will be up there, but I have NC State at 5. And they have Michigan State at 4. I know they lose Draymond Green, who was Mr. All-World. But they bring in Gary Harris, and they bring back Brandon Dawson, who got hurt in the Big Ten last home game versus Ohio State, which they ended up losing. So I think they have the best coach, in my opinion, in college basketball. Of course, Louisville 3. Now, the reason I have Kentucky ahead of them, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know with Noel. We don't know about Shabazz. So it's kind of hard to jump them. But you know what's funny about this is if we look back at the way U of L finished the season, having that run through the tournament like we did, we wouldn't have got the city. We'd have been at 8 or 9 season. Nobody would even be talking about this. And if you really look at the lineup, that's a very, very good experience starting 5. And some people off the bench.
It's
IU,
it's
to me, is
tremendously.
the best.
You think IU's the best because
who they bring in? Plus, they don't lose anyone. Really, Burdell Jones.
Watford, maybe they
I don't
lose
think
Zeller.
he's going to.
And even if they don't, I like Louisville ahead of them because of that defense. I don't think IU showed the toughness on defense that Louisville showed. I think that could be a difference. I would rank if Teague comes back, and they get Muhammad, Noel, and Oriaki, I'd rank Kentucky 1 just because they're defending champs. If they don't get all 3 of those, I would rank Louisville number 1. I think Louisville, and Gary, Louisville needs to do well in the Big East Conference. A lot of times they have a rocky road, but they want a high seed because the first 2 rounds of the tournament, one of the sites is Rupp Arena.
Yeah.
And there's a regional in Indianapolis.
And that's big.
You want to get priority and be sent to those 2 spots.
Well, I totally agree on that. But I think the issue there, though, if you look at Louisville, a lot of that defense was masking because of lack of offense. Now does Pitino change the strategy and try to speed up the tempo a little bit, which will negate some of the defense because you don't get back as much because you're more in transition. He's got more components to work with this upcoming year. People who can get out and take the ball off the dribble, which that was a problem with Chris Smith and Cal Kirk. They couldn't put the ball on the floor. But with Blackshear, and now inserting Luke Hancock, who none of us have actually visually seen.
Yes.
We just heard the stories. But if all is true, then yes, they're going to be a more open up offense. And I think that would
thing
be
is,
part
they'll
of
lose more
taking a little bit
games
from their
along the
defense.
way. In the Big East, it's just a tougher grind. But hopefully they can get a 1 or 2 seed, get a favorable location in the tournament. But the pressure's flipped a little bit. I think Final Four is the least, is the lowest expectation Cardinal fans have. Gary, real quick, we've got 1 minute left. A couple of things that I know you're promoting is a gambling initiative.
Definitely
of course,
a
very
issue.
important around here, and higher education.
Yes,
and
funding for higher
reconnecting
education.
the neighborhood. Give us a little bit of your stump speech here.
We're gaming, for example. Let the voters decide. Granted, I didn't agree with the way it was written because Churchill may have gotten too much on the top end. If we get a boat, that boosts our economy downtown. If we put a boat in, that does not affect horse racing in general. I also think that horse owners in the state should get a tax break if they're a state horse owner and they go to the sales at Keeneland and purchase a horse. Now we go to the education. When we were in school, we have vocational programs. We need to implement those back. The busing needs to go away because that's disrupting the neighborhoods. Vocational programs teach people a learning and a trade and a skilled craft. If we have those back, people are worried about going to college because they can't pay back their loans. Then we go back into the neighborhoods. We reconnect the neighborhoods. We got to have less moving outs, more moving ins, less closing downs, more starting up businesses. We need the neighborhoods to remember their neighborhoods.
All right, Gary.
And know their
great job. We'll see you guys next week. The Jimmy Awards on the Sunday Sports Buzz, presented by Sam Swope next week.